You are valuable. You do have purpose. You are not what they said you were. Prosperity will find you. You are successful. You are beautiful. Your past does not define you. The moment you decide to look outside of yourself for value is the moment you give your rights away to be authentically you. Your value is not in what your mother thinks of you, what your father thinks of you, what your family and friends think of you. Your value is what you think of yourself. That is the secret to authentically loving and being you.
Welcome to Soul Food with Sadie. It's time to feed your soul, uplifting others through inspiration, motivation, and edifying the soul so we can be the best version of ourselves. Here's your host, Sadie Evans.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for listening to Soul Food with Sadie. This season is all about mindset and breaking those limited beliefs so that we can walk into the best version of ourselves. You guys, I have a great guest on today. She is a business mindset coach and her daughter is named Sadie as well. So that's a bonus. I'm going to introduce you all to Leticia. I am so excited to have her on the show. Thank you all. This is Leticia. How are you doing?
I am so good. I am so grateful for the opportunity to be on your platform. Thank you for having me.
Yes, no problem. I'm honored to have you here. Tell us about who you are.
So as you said, I'm a business mindset coach. I'm originally from Bermuda and I am currently living in England where I have a business called Black Rose Coaching. And I developed this business just under 2 years ago because, I got tired of seeing the narrative that we as Black women have to sacrifice so much in order to have success in our careers. And that comes as a result of the sacrifices that we have to make with our family. I was in a career for 14 years and really unfulfilled. And it reminded me of something that I saw as a child, and it was a narrative that I didn't want. And, I kind of stayed in this position because of limiting beliefs. And when I took a gamble on myself, took a chance and started believing in what I brought to the table, that's when life changed for me. Yes. And I am now really, really passionate about helping women get their mind right, as I like to say, so that they can see the success and fulfillment that they desire in their lives.
That is amazing. That is so amazing. I love when you said you took a chance on yourself. You took a gamble on yourself. Can you tell us, when did you get to this place where you was like, you know what, this is it. I'm no longer going to let these beliefs stop me and I'm going to take a chance on myself. How did you get to that place so that you could get to where you are today?
I've had a long journey, Sadie. I've experienced domestic violence, toxic relationships. And, in 2013, I took a gamble on myself again. I pressed reset and I left Bermuda and I came to England. And while I've been here, I was really focused on building my career, but I was constantly being triggered. At the pinnacle of my career, the position that I walked away from to pursue coaching, I was a manager at a Lloyd's of London syndicate. And for those who don't know, Lloyd's of London is the oldest insurance institution in the world. So for me, that was an honor to be given a responsibility in such a great, prestigious institution. However, as a foreign Black woman, I was not respected in my role. I like to tell people I was hired to be a heavyweight boxer, But when I stepped into meetings, I was expected to be the ringer, the girl that comes in and holds up the numbers. And that did not sit well with me. I am a person, I'm very driven. I know that I'm a leader. And I struggled with being placed into a subservient role to keep other people around me comfortable. They were not comfortable with my strength. So they tried to weaken me at every chance that they got. And I realized, I had spent years doubting myself. But when I sat back and I reflected on the things that I had accomplished in just 5 years, I was building someone else's dreams. And it was time for me to start building my own. Yeah. So, I had 2 children back to back. And out here, you have up to 12 months for maternity leave. And I really took some time to reflect on what it is that I wanted for my life. And it was not being the scapegoat for someone else making multi-million dollars or multi-million pounds. It was me deciding, all of the skills that I bring to the table for this role, I can take and make it useful for me so that I can make my own money.
Wow, that is so amazing. So amazing. So I love where you said that, being the scapegoat for other people was something you can no longer do. And I love when you said you basically were shrinking yourself to make other people comfortable, because a lot of people do that. A lot of us do that. I did that for years of my life. And I still sometimes feel like I do that in certain situations or in certain rooms. So when was it where you got to this place where you was like, I know this is the limited belief stopping me? When you were in this situation at this job and you was like, I'm quitting or whatever. I don't know if you quit. Did you quit or... So when you got to the point,
right away,
when you got to the point where you quit, what limited belief stood in the way that was trying to tell you not to quit and not to build your own empire?
Just a bit of history. The reason why I built my business is because the disrespect was so obvious for me. The day that I gave birth to my youngest child, I received an email from my job. My personal email account asking me about work. And that's what triggered me to start my business. Like, that is the most disrespectful time to be asking me for work. But I had told myself that I needed to have like X amount of pounds in the bank before I could move away from this business. I kept delaying, really pushing myself forward. And what I recognize, and it's interesting because I'm a coach, right? Like, I certified as a coach. You start recognizing the belief system, which you think is so amazing. Like, it's gotten me this far in my career, but my belief system was actually like me putting my foot on the throttle and then easing off because I had fears. Like, I'm scared. I can't do this. Like, there's nobody in my family that's done this. So why do I think that I can do this? Yeah. I don't have the support that I need. So I can't go out on my own. So all of these things were running through my mind, and I was quite comfortable going back to work and doing my business part-time. But I was so unhappy, right? And I was just like, I had to challenge those beliefs. Yes. One of the things that I know as a fact is when we are in a position where it's either sink or swim, that's when we work the hardest.
Yes.
And I had to look beyond my fear, acknowledge that it was my fear, right? And see how it was holding me back. And once I did that, once I worked through that, I realized, wait a minute, the only person that's holding me back is me.
Yes.
All of these things that I'm conjuring up, the worst case scenario, if I walk away from my job, I'm going to end up being homeless. That's one of the things that I told myself. Like, if it doesn't work, I'm going to be on this side of the road, jingling cans for someone's coins. But that was a future expectation that I created myself. I didn't have any evidence that would be the case. Yes, that's so powerful where you don't even know how big they are and how much they impact your life. And, I got to a point where I was like really, really disrespected at work. And I said, you know what? I don't care
Exactly.
about all of these negative things, because at the end of the day, I am in total control of my actions. And
Mm-hmm.
as long as I'm putting in the work, the success will come.
Yes. Yes.
And I stepped out on my own and I walked away from a 14-year career
Wow.
because I worked on these limiting beliefs. You
Yeah.
know, it's been 6 months and I'm still not jingling cans. So something's working.
Something's working.
Yeah.
Something's working. And it's so powerful that you said to challenge those beliefs, because a lot of us are at jobs, we in relationships, and we feel like, well, I've never seen a family member leave their marriage that was toxic. I've never seen a family member leave their job that was toxic. So why should I? Challenge that belief. Leticia said, challenge that belief. She's not jingling cans, and that was her belief. She thought that she was going to be homeless because if she left this job, she didn't know what she was going to do, but she challenged that belief. And right now, she's a business mindset coach. She helps individuals transform their mindset because she was first in a place where she had this limited mindset, but she challenged it. What does mindset transformation mean to you?
Mindset transformation is all about challenging the narratives. We get so comfortable with our narratives. You know, I mentioned that I was a domestic violence survivor. One of the narratives that I held was that I was a victim, right?
Yes.
That in itself made me powerless because I wasn't taking charge of my actions. The transformation that I experienced in that was realizing how much control I actually had over my life and being able to take action from that. So for me, a mindset transformation is moving from a fixed mindset where you believe that your life cannot change, you cannot change a narrative, to embracing a narrative that life is all about change. And as long as you are willing to learn from your mistakes, learn the lessons that life teaches us, you will always be in a better position because you are extracting the lessons that are put there to help you to grow.
Wow. You are coming through with some very powerful statements. I just want to thank you again. Victim mindset equals powerless solutions. You're not going to be anywhere in life having this victim mindset. Your story might not be domestic violence. Your story might be something else. But whatever it is, know that you are victorious and not a victim. You have the power because you are victorious. Can you tell me a time where, a personal time in your life where you had to shift your mindset?
Absolutely. I mean, there are so many times, but let's draw back on that victim example. When I was going through my domestic violence, right? When I was going through that experience, I stayed because I thought that life could not be different for me. That relationship ended because he stabbed me. And I thought that walking away from that would automatically fix things, right? Like everything would just fall into place. But because I had gotten comfortable with being a victim, my life did not change at all.
Yes.
Okay, I was no longer getting beaten, but I was still in situations where I was giving away my power, where I was getting involved with people who weren't emotionally available for me. So it wasn't until I was able to accept that while I am not the reason for all of the things that are happening in my life, my decisions were the reason why I was in those circumstances. And that shift in itself, right? Realizing that I have control over my decisions, thus I have control over my life, allowed me to start making new decisions. And those new decisions empowered me because they were coming from a place of empowerment, as opposed to keeping me stuck in that mentality that I don't have any control.
Yes, that is amazing. I'm just smiling ear to ear because you are enlightening me. So I know there's someone listening to this that's like, wow, I'm in this place of feeling sorry for myself. But all I have to do is pick myself up and know that I'm victorious and transform my mind so that I can get my power back. Wow. At what point did you realize that mindset, that victim mindset, was truly hindering you from learning the lesson that was meant to be taught out that situation?
That victim mindset landed me in jail.
Mm.
Circumstances are what they are, but I remember being in jail, having to sit behind a glass and speak to my mama. And in that moment, she asked me a question. Why do you love everybody else more than you love yourself?
Wow.
And that spun me out of control. I had to go back to myself. And it just reminded me, wait a minute. I'm giving away my power. I'm giving away my control. I got to do something different. And, I've had these like powerful statements said to me. And I remember someone saying to me, the way you feel is a choice. And I couldn't get it. When they said it to me, it angered me. I couldn't get it. But sitting and reflecting and wanting to heal, I realized the power of my thoughts. That is where the control is. And, I eventually worked with a coach, which helped me to see how much my thoughts impact my actions. So we operate from a belief system, right? And that belief system is where our thoughts are formulated. Yes. Our thoughts create feelings. Our feelings create emotions, and our emotions drive our actions.
Yes.
When we understand that fully, we then realize, wait a minute, I don't have time to be having these thoughts that don't serve me. Because I know the trickle-down effect. I know that if I have this thought, it's going to impact how I show up for myself. And that is when my change happened. When I realized it's time to start taking audit my thoughts, audit my emotions, audit what's going on, so that I can see how it's impacting me and make a change, make a shift,
Wow. Why do you love everyone more than you love yourself? I want you guys to ponder on that for a second, because a lot of times we get ourselves in situations and it's because we are thinking about others. We are putting ourselves last and putting others before ourselves. I always say, when you search outside of yourself for validation, you're giving your rights away to authentically be you. So why do you love others more than you love yourself? That is so good. Shout out to your mom. That is amazing. Why do you think that our mindset is so important when facing obstacles in life?
That's where it all begins. If we are operating from a defeated place, we shall always be defeated. And one of the things that I've learned, we don't know what the future holds. We have absolutely no clue. But what we have control over is our expectations for the future. Yes. For some reason, human nature has us default into the worst case scenario. Like I told you before, I'll be shaking cans on the side of the road. But it's not as extreme as that. But if you think about it, anything that you tend to want to venture out into, if you're really honest with yourself, most times you try to talk yourself out of things because you have conjured up the worst case. Knowing that you have control over that, right? We do not know what's going to happen from one moment to the next, but we have control over setting ourselves up for success. So rather defaulting to the worst case scenario, we can start defaulting to the best case scenario, because that best case scenario is what is going to motivate us and empower us to move forward. If we think the worst thing that's going to happen is going to stop us from taking action. So our mindset is what prepares us for success. Our mindset is what allows us to become disciplined enough to reach our goals. Our mindset is what drives our action. So that's why it's so important. We have to be taking constant audits on our mindset and on our belief system, because we only want to be operating from a place that serves us.
Yes, absolutely. If you operate from a defeated mindset, you will only be defeated. You are really coming with gems. I like to say gems because I believe those are some things that help enhance our life, and they're beautiful. Mm-hmm. Everyone wants a beautiful gem, So you are really giving us some gems. I am so thankful for that. Can you give me 3 ways that you shifted your mindset to achieve success and healing in your life?
The number one thing that I had to do was accept me for me. A lot of times we beat ourselves up because of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and none of them serve us. Coming to terms with who I was so important. My whole life I heard I'm too much, I'm too loud, I'm too opinionated, I've got too much attitude, I'm too smart for my own good. And that had me questioning my worth. Accepting that I'm loud for a reason, accepting that this attitude is what's kept me going, accepting that my opinions is what is needed sometimes to help someone else shift their perspective, allowed me to accept that although these aspects of myself make other people uncomfortable, these aspects is what has been placed in me to make an impact on the world. So accept yourself, number 1. Yeah. Number 2, be willing to take bold action. Be willing to take action. We often have goals that, we don't go after because we're scared to take action. We don't want to take action. We conjure up all of these negative things, so we don't take action, but be willing to take bold action. And then also embracing failure. That is so important. Failure is part and parcel to success. And somewhere along the way, from toddler age, we learn that failure is bad. But if you look at a child learning how to walk, they take 1 step, they fall. They take 2 steps, they fall. They take 3 steps, they fall. And they don't stop getting back up.
Yes.
When we grow, we take 1 step, we fall because we align that failure with our worth, and it stops us. If we took that approach as a teen, as a toddler, we would never walk. Failure gives us an opportunity to learn. It gives us an opportunity to grow. It gives us an opportunity to shift our path. And that is something that is more inspiring than getting it right the first time. Because every time I get it wrong, I'm coming out of that situation a better person if I stop to learn the lessons. So embrace yourself wholeheartedly, be willing to take bold action, and embrace failure.
Yes.
Is my tidbits.
Yes. So 3 gems that she gave us was to accept yourself. Accept who you are. It helps you authentically walk in who you are and be true to yourself. Embrace failure. Embrace the failure. It is meant to teach you a lesson. If you embrace it, you will be able to learn the lesson in that situation. And take action. I like to say life is an action sport. Nothing we do in life will come to us unless we take action. Take bold action. An action with authority. Then we're so good. Thank you so much. Someone is going to hear those and be able to utilize those in their life. What is one seed? I like to say seed because, when you put a seed in the ground, it'll grow into a beautiful harvest if you water it and if you take care of it. So I believe that Soul Food with Sadie, we are planting seeds and we are taking care of your soul by the interviews, by the words that people are speaking. I believe that one day individuals are going to be able to listen to this and become the very best version of themselves if they apply the seeds that are given to them. So what is one seed that you will leave with the listeners, something that will inspire them to become the very best versions of themselves?
This is my favorite quote, and it's my own. I like to say, walk as if every step you take is about to make an avalanche, because you are here to change the world.
Yes. That is so good. Thank you so much. It's someone that's going to listen to this and they're going to say, wow, she is powerful. I do need help shifting my mindset around my business. Where can they reach you at? What is your social media links for them to go follow you, for them to email you? How can they connect with you?
I spend a lot of time on Instagram, and my handle on Instagram is Black Rose Coaching. Black is spelled BLAQUE, Rose, and coaching. Connect with me there. I provide daily insights for mindset and business strategy. I announce all of the free resources that I provide for my audience there, or you can go to my website, blackrosecoaching.com.
Black Rose. Can you spell that again, just in case someone?
Sure. BLAQUEROSECOACHING.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be a guest on the show. Thank you so much for the seeds that you planted today and the gems that you gave to the audience. I am so grateful that you were authentically you, that you showed up, you accepted yourself, you embraced your failure, and you took actions, because now you're able to give it back to us. Thank you, thank you, thank you again for being on Soul Food with Sadie.
You are so welcome, and I love what you're doing with this season. This is a topic that definitely needs to be covered. You know, a lot of us are very unaware about how our belief system impacts our lives.
Yes, yes. You guys, wasn't that a great show? Gosh, the gems that she came with were amazing. My take from the show was to embrace my failures. Another take I got from the show is never to love someone more than you love yourself. Do y'all remember when she said her mom asked her while she was in jail, why do you love others more than you love yourself? I want to leave that with you guys. Someone out here listening might be loving someone more than they love themselves. Examine yourself and ask yourself, why do you love others more than you love yourself? Thank you guys again for tuning in to Soul Food with Sadie. And as always, take the seeds that are for you and leave the rest for others. And make sure your cup is so full of goodness that you spill onto others. If you are interested in becoming a guest on the show for our season 3, which is over forgiveness, please email me at coach@SadieMaeEvans.com for an application. Thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in to Soul Food with Sadie. I am thankful for health in my body, peace in my mind, ears to hear and eyes to see. I am thankful for hands to write, legs and feet to stand, and wisdom to understand the gems that were given unto me today. I am thankful that I can create a strategy that I can implement into my life. I am thankful I am divinely created for such a time as this. I will be thankful for the small things, because the small things are only preparing me for the bigger things that are coming into my life.